I had was I speak two languages, Congolese languages.
Oh.
Yes, I speak Swahili and I speak Lingala also. Oh. So I was able to lobby the Congolese team, which were very, very difficult, to support the Gambia. From there, they ended up lifting the sanctions. EU lifted the sanctions. And then within the ministry, I decided, because of my little experience in the UN system and perhaps age, I was able to really work closely with President Jammeh. And I created a space for myself through negotiations, diplomacy, and humility to advise him on the best way to really work in the interests of the country. I championed the cause of the release of so many detainees, the former government officials. Most of them were detained and incarcerated. And being the social welfare minister, I had the moral responsibility and also the commitment in the eyes of God to really convince him to release them. Eventually they were released, and then February, when he had broke out with Sana Sabali, who is a cousin of mine. Cousin, but we did not know each other for long because I lived all my life, most of my life, young life, in Congo. So they had a problem on the 27th of January 1995. Immediately I had it. I went to the office to see the president and say, well, I want to resign. When he asked why, I said, well, because Sana is my cousin, and blood is thicker than water. And besides, as a professional, I cannot see my cousin in prison, incarcerated, and then stay in cabinet. And from the professional point of view, also trust. No matter what I would have been or what I would have been considered, they would not trust me. So he said, no, I was with Amijara for that delegation, and Rousseau. So he said, no, you have been doing a great job. Besides, it's not Sana who brought you in the government, as I told you. It is me and the national, and the country. I had a lot of push for a call from the country wide to say that if we are bringing civil servants, if we are bringing the civil society, we should bring you on board. So you are here working in the interest of the country, and I definitely appreciate what you have been doing. And I trust you, so you need to continue working. But I thought that, that was against my principles, and I just prayed about it. He wanted to maintain me, but I prayed about it. But in the end, he finally decided that, yes, I think that was a good reason. So we separated paths. I went back to UNDP.
How many days did it take for him to accept that you had made up your mind to go?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
3 weeks, yes. And when I went, when he told me that I couldn't resign, I was on mission then. On the day I was about to go to Dhaka with Amijara, Rousseau, and Bami and others. So I went for the mission. I went for the mission, and God gave us victory with the delegation, with the support of Abdou Diouf and his President Abdou Diouf and his delegation, and his government. We came victorious. And not only that, I was able to negotiate with a gentleman from France, Polymon. He owns a company called Polymon. He's into the business of industrialization. I decided through Samsar, I had that contact. We discussed, we presented Gambia's case, and decided that, convinced him to come. So we came here, and he was very supportive. He had a plan to build a plant here, a Peugeot, for assembling parts.
Okay.
And that would have created like 5,000 to 7,000 jobs for youths. I brought them here. They met the president. And also, by and large, he was very influential he helped us to get access to the Caisse Française that supported GRTS. So you see GRTS through perhaps my own influence.
Efforts, yes.
Efforts, yes, my efforts, and of course under the authority of the government, I was able to have Caisse Française to really support the establishment of GRTS.
So you had a hand in that?
Yeah, I had a hand in that.
Not many people would know that.
Yes. So I came from there. When I left government, I went back to UNDP Liberia for 5 years as UNDP gender advisor on health and population. Worked there for 5 years. This was immediately after the war. I spent 5 years, and throughout the crisis, I was in charge of advising the country team on how to domesticate UN Convention on all forms of discrimination against women, and the Beijing Platform for Action, the African Platform for Action, and so forth. But in essence, to see that policy compliance. I had a lot of, thank God, I was given the opportunity, I was empowered. I always had representatives who empowered me, gave me the autonomy to fulfill my potential. I was able to do a lot of reconciliation among women and youths. I was able to galvanize through the advice on the country team to bring many projects for rehabilitation, resettlement, and recovery.
Fantastic.
Yes, and then of course I also supervised a lot of statistical work, because you cannot convince or influence policy decisions without really having the evidence. So in statistics, I had some other projects like economic management, statistical data, health, and also we were able to influence the policy, post-war policy.
So a lot in the area of development work.
Yes, and so I must say that I want to recognize in this phase, in the 80s, I was also chairperson of the National Women's Council under the able leadership of our former founding father, His Excellency Sadauda Kairaba Jawara, may his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
I was the advisor on policy on women and children's issues, and we brought in a lot of resources in this country, including the World Bank, which is about 50 million in a multidimensional program for women, ranging from literacy, entrepreneurship, education, and so forth.
Fantastic.
So this is me in a sense.
That's a lot. And was it, that short time spent in government under Yahya Jammeh that sparked, the love of politics in you? Because you spent most of your life, in development work.
Yes.
How did you come into politics?
I came into politics by default. Simply because since childhood, my passion has been, and my prayer, have been to stand for the country. I love democracy. I'm a pro-democrat. And I thought I also really see myself as a role model for women. So I thought without really engaging in where the cake is shared in politics, to influence decisions, to have women, to have gender equality and the empowerment of women and youths, I wouldn't be able to make it. So I decided to see, always trying to create niche for myself. Even at the level of UNDP, I was in charge of some political projects, perhaps also diplomatic and developmental projects with the Bretton Woods, World Bank, and IMF. And my aim was always trying to scrape dollars to give projects, create projects in rural Gambia, such as the small ruminants projects, the rangeland development of the Dankunku, under the Chief Sajamboj. I had also salt production. I always had that passion of really empowering other people. So that's why I came. And of course, gradually, God answered my prayer and was able to really put me in the hearts of Gambians to really call me each time the country was in trouble.
And let's go straight to the elephant in the room. July 30th at the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center, where the Gambia was hosting the first Sahel Forum, it was widely reported that you had declared your intention to run for president in 2026. First, can you confirm that such a declaration had been made indeed?
Yes, I made the declaration, and I must say that is something that I have been seriously thinking about. For the mere fact that women must not shy away from politics. Leadership is service. It's not a title, it's a service. And as you grow in life, professionally, socially, economically, you want to really be an influencer where you can really do things and influence policies and programs to really in the entire benefit of the country, and mainly the people that I represent, women and young people. I'm a mother with children, and I really want to see that more women. I also want to really encourage women to come enter politics. And this is a time that is a time to align the country and for women in leadership. I believe that women can make a lot of difference in leadership, in politics. And I think that from the point of view of being a politician by default, I have been able to sponsor many, many young women who belong to political parties but have not had the opportunities to be financed by the political parties. So by and large, I've invested a lot of money since 2016 to encourage women to come into politics. So the declaration is true, I confirm it, and I'm thinking about it seriously. What is going to be like the question would be in the minds of many people is, what is the name of your party, where is your manifesto, and so forth.
Does it have to be a party? To be president, you don't have to belong to a party.
You don't have to build up a party. There are many ways to become a leader, to become a president. So it's a plan that I'm thinking about. So I would call on all my Gambian sisters, brothers, and parents, and so forth to continue to pray for me, so that God would guide me. Because everything I pray for God to guide me. If it is in the best interest of the country, I want God to bless my declaration. If it is not in the best interest of the country, I want God to guide me to do what is best for me. But by and large, I must say that I thank God for everything, because I left the government in 2018, June 2018, and apart from leaving, since after separating with the government, I have been working very close with government.
Oh, you have?
On my own initiative, at my voluntary service. From time to time, I would call on His Excellency the President Adama Barrow just to go and sit and talk about national issues and give him my little advice on to how much we can do. Because at the end of the day, I have a role and responsibility in this country. I have a stake in this country. Mm-hmm. As a senior citizen, I must not sit and say, Hamon Nako.
Okay. But since you made that declaration, how has it affected your relationship with President Barrow? I mean, somebody who trusted you enough at one stage, you know, to make you actually his first vice president.
I have not spoken to him since that time, but I intend to call him, because I call him from time to time. Like if you have national mourning, I call him to sympathize with him. When there are hot national issues, I call him to discuss with him. And sometimes he calls also back when we have feasts also, national feasts, like the Eids, we call each other. So for me, we have perfect relationship that will not be making a declaration to vie for the 2026 presidency should not deter our relationship, because Adama is married to my granddaughter, Fatoumata Barbaro, Her Excellency, the First Lady Fatoumata Barbaro, is my granddaughter.
Oh.
So no matter what, and for me, being the person I am, I don't hold grudge, and I don't encourage anybody to be angry against me.
Well,
Even where I succeed to be a candidate for 2026, I will work with him. I will work with all political parties, because at the end of the day, we have a common goal, which is to advance the Gambia in the interest, peace, security, stability, and prosperity for all.
Mm-hmm. And what about, those other political parties, the parties outside government, some of which you worked with in cobbling together the 2016 coalition?
Yes. I was the co-chairperson of the coalition. Yes. And Peter, it was really interesting. I benefited from our cultural values. That's respect for the elders. Really, the 7 political parties leaders here, more experience in politics.
We'll get into that later on. I just want to know some of these, like DOI, like UDP.
Yes, all of them.
Hearing you say now you want to contest in 2026, in other words, challenge their own leaders.
Yes.
How, if you know anything about that, how have they reacted to your declaration?
Yes, they haven't reached out to me, but okay. I can really vouch that they will support it. They will support it because they have a lot of respect for me, and they trust me. They trust my leadership, and this is evidenced by when I was co-chair of the coalition 2016. Yeah, they considered me as a mother, as a sister.